I've been a Republican all my life. From day one, I have been a faith-based constitutional conservative. Last week, a list came out from our state GOP chairman, Ryan Call. 7 names are on that list that are detrimental to the Republican Party of Colorado. I am number 5. And I got on that list because I was on Rush Limbaugh a week ago last and Laura Ingraham simultaneously back to back about these recall efforts and how that was grassroots. That was not the GOP. The GOP showed up about a week before those elections were over. Make no mistake, that was us in the room. That was us making those 1,000 walking doors and making phone calls. The GOP was MIA until the last. I'm telling you, I was in strategic planning with those people. It was the last 8 days when they finally showed up, and then they tried to take credit. Not going to happen. This is about us. Okay, so let's talk about Amendment 66. Who said, is this going to be short and sweet? Who wanted to know if this was going to be a short and sweet meeting? Okay, there ain't nothing short about this bill, and there is nothing sweet about it. Let me tell you, this is 174 pages. SB 13213, lovingly referred to as the Future Public Finance Act, School Act. I like to refer to it as the $1 billion tax increase. This bill was sponsored by Senator Raleigh Heath, Senator Mike Johnston, and Representative Millie Hamner. There's your sign. Right there says danger, danger. 174 pages. Let me tell you, not one Republican senator or representative voted for this bad boy. Not one. And let me tell you, on the Senate side and on the House side, our team debated this bill for over 6 hours on both the floor of the Senate. When it passed unanimously by the Democrats, it went over to the House, and they debated it there over 6.5 hours. Our team was down there beating this to death. If this is about real school reform, Senator Renfro, let's have the money follow the kid. Rejected. Senator Marble, let's give tax credits to our parents. If our parents want our kids to go to private schools, parochial schools, let's give them a tax credit. Rejected. Senator Lundberg, let's make school choice. If it's about homeschoolers, if it's about private schools, let's give our parents choice. Rejected. So, Representative Carroll put an amendment for this bill, on this bill. Let's pay teachers for performance. Let's reward the good teachers. Rejected. And when I say rejected, this is in the House and on the Senate side. When one of our legislators goes to present an amendment to a bill like this, they present the amendment, it gets debated, then the majority leader will do the hammer, make a motion that we have a vote. And let me tell you, when our guys were voting, and it's a voice vote, it's not on the board, because they're only amendments, and you hear the Democrats yell, yay or nay, and they go nay, and you hear our team, let me tell you, our team every time was yay! And you know what the majority leader said every time? Senator Morris, Representative Fernandino, the amendment fails. And it was awful. It was awful to see the way we were ramrodded, not only on this bill, on all of the bills, the egregious legislation that was passed. So that's how, because this bill passed, 213, it now says that it has to go to the taxpayers because it is a tax increase. And we all remember Tabor, we all remember Gallagher, that anytime there's a tax increase, it has to go to the taxpayers to be voted on. So that's why it's now on the ballot, and ballots are going to drop October 15, Amendment 66. And before we go any further, amendment right there. What is that? Oh, I got it. Sorry. Sorry. Amendment right there, that word tells you what?
In the Constitution.
We're fixing to change the Colorado Constitution with this Amendment 66. Amendment 66, the $1 billion tax increase This is in perpetuity. This has got no sunshine clause to it. This is a bill that if this passes, we will have the largest income tax rate this state has ever seen. We, Colorado, will be ranked 5th in the nation for income tax rates. This is such a cluster, I can't even tell you. It is unfair to our kids, it's bad for our teachers, and it's harmful to our Colorado families. I am speaking to you today as a volunteer from the Independence Institute. We are doing the best we can to get out and get our voters educated about what Amendment 66 is. We know they have $10 million to fight this, to promote Amendment 66. So that's where you're going to see all the commercials. You're going to see people walking door to door. They're getting paid for what they're doing. I'm volunteering. Our team is volunteering. We don't have the resources. This is the unions putting this down our throats. But what a return. They're going to put $10 million to promote this, and they're going to get $1 billion out of it. I mean, it's a great return on their investment. $10 million to fight this. You know what? Proposition 103, you remember what happened to that 2 years ago? We were outspent 2-1 and we beat it on the ballot. I'm sorry, we were outspent 11-1 and we beat it on the ballot 2-1. We've got to get the word out. We've got to get the word out about Amendment 66. So key facts about the amendment, and I'm telling you, this is convoluted, and I'm going to try to get through it. I'm not going to read everything on here. The big thing that we need to know, this represents an income tax increase. We've got rates up here that will have certain percentages on it. The thing that's important for us is to know what that income tax increase is. It's an 8 to 24% state income tax increase. Anybody sitting in this room, I guarantee you, you're going to get an automatic 8% increase in your income tax. Based on your income over $75,000, you'll start looking at over 27% on that $75,000. Do you get what this is? This is a progressive tax. We have never had a progressive income tax in this state in our life. We're fixing to get it. We are fixing to reward people that are working hard. This could be an income of 2 parents working full time to get over $75,000. They're going to get 27% taken right off of their state income tax. This doesn't include what we're fixing to get.
That's not a reward. We're penalizing people.
Exactly. We go out there and we work hard and we earn a living and we get penalized. You're absolutely right for working hard. And this doesn't even include what we're fixing to get hit with that renewable energy. What about all this flooding that we have up here? The roads, the transportation. What do you think they're going to do to us when they have to start paying for that? This is ridiculous what we're going to be doing. As I said, this is going to make the state of Colorado the 5 highest income tax rates in the nation. Little is going to go to our hardworking teachers and to directly benefiting our kids in school. We've got 18% youth unemployed right now. The average household income in this state has gone down 7%, and we're fixing to take more money out of their pockets. We've got Obamacare that's going to be hitting our small businesses. They have no idea what that burden's going to be. And like I said, the renewable energy mandates. Is there anything sweet about this yet? Right now, Colorado's school funding, according to the National Education, this is the United States Educational Association. These are those guys down there in D.C. Right now, they're saying that our Colorado ranks 26th nationally per student, K through 12, in our spending. So we're 26. That comes down to $10,000 a kid, or a year. That's a year. So he's got 12 years to go through school. That's $120,000. And we can't educate our kids on that, and you want more money? It's ridiculous. And we also know that Colorado has got a $1.1 billion surplus right now. Right now they have got a surplus, and they're asking us for more money. Why we've got to say no, just going through it quick. Colorado's kids are our greatest assets. We know it. We get it. We owe them the best education we can provide. This amendment falls short of that. Colorado's public schools are not adequately preparing our children for college or success in life. Our kids deserve better. Do you know that 40% of our kids that graduate out of high school, 40% graduate out of high school, go to college, they need remedial training in math.
That's right.
We are failing these kids,
Right.
and they want more money at a failed system. Colorado's education needs reform, but this is not the reform we need. I liken this to Obamacare. Did our healthcare system need reform?
No.
You bet it. No, it did.
Yeah.
I think tort reform. I think pre-existing conditions. I think being able to go insurance from state to state. It
Right.
needed reform. It did need to be blown up. And our education system in Colorado does not need to burden our with taxes. Too much funding for schools goes towards administration and unions. Too little goes to paying our hardworking teachers. We owe our teachers and our kids more. Colorado families continue to struggle with the lack of robust economy. We can't levy the largest tax increase in Colorado's history on our families now. It's wrong. It's not right to do that. This initiative is wrong for our kids, and it's wrong for our Colorado families. Fact versus fiction. I'm not going to go through both sides. I just want to talk about the facts. Less than 4% of this money follows the student through backpack funding. And that 4%, that's the most our principals are going to see. So when you think, oh, $1 billion and how much our school districts are going to get, 4% is the most our school principals will see. We still have funding that has phantom students to the detriment of actual attendees. Just so you understand how convoluted this scheme is, they will count students. Thinking of the Denver school systems, they'll have one kid. They're going to count that kid maybe because he comes for the pre-breakfast program. That kid gets counted. That same kid is an English learner, English as your second language learner. That kid now gets counted twice. Now maybe in Larimer County, we've got 15,000 kids. They've got 15,000 in Denver, but on their books, because they're counting their kids twice, they might look like they've got 28,000 kids. We still have 15,000. So when they start redistributing this money, where do you think that money's going to go? They've got phantom kids down there. They're counting the kids in a phantom way that makes them look top heavy, and they'll get the more money for the one kid. It's not right. They say that they're going to have this transparency when they get this $1 billion. I don't even need to talk to you about that one. That was so stupid. It says it won't backfill para. We know damn well it's going to backfill para.
Right.
The school system in Colorado, we already have $20 billion. $20 billion is what they already have to work with. Now they're asking for another $1 billion to come in to support our school systems. When they say it's not going to fund para, that's because they're going to take this money right here, backfill it to para, and this new $1 billion that's coming in is what's going to fund our schools. That is wrong. There are no metrics. Can you believe in this bill, nowhere does it say we're going to reduce class size. Nowhere does it going to say we're going to increase test scores. Nowhere does it have metrics in here that
No
will
benchmarks.
actually gauge.
Yeah, no benchmarks.
No
for
benchmarks,
success.
nothing that will track to see that we are improving. Oh, how stupid is that? No metrics? What business can stay in practice if you don't have any kind of gauge on what your return is? They say this initiative is the first in education reform. No, there's already been plans in other states that have these types of initiatives. Coloradans are open to this initiative. You think that one's true? No districts will lose funding. At least 11 school districts are going to lose funding, and we're going to talk about that. This tax hike is negligible for Colorado families. Trust me, when you're on a fixed income, you're trying to make your house payment, your car payment, your electric bills. Any time somebody comes after my income, I'm going to feel it. About SB 213. Redistributes money from Arapahoe, Douglas, Jeffco, and Larimer is also part of that. And the way this is, and I've got a handout I'm going to share with you all. Let's just pick Douglas County, or actually Jeffco, because Jeffco is going to take it the most. For every dollar that a Jeffco resident sends in to Denver, because this $1 billion now is tagged for the state education fund in Denver. So this money is going into Denver. This state education fund is 14 appointed people who have that money, and they will decide where this money goes. Not elected officials. No one is accountable to us, the taxpayer. These are appointed people that will have their hands on that money, deciding where it goes. Jeffco, for every dollar that goes to that fund down in Denver, they will get 50 cents on the dollar, 50 cents back on their students, because of the way their kids are going to be counted. They are not going to be counted twice like the Denver kids are. So these counties, Arapahoe, Douglas, Jeffco, and Larimer, are going to be paying more and getting less returned back into their districts that these nice people in Denver are going to be sending back. And I want to let you know, as part of the discussion, Greeley, your school district 6, you are going to get more than $1 back on your kids. You are going to benefit. But does that make it right for the rest of the state?
No.
It doesn't. So don't let your Board of Education, who's already come out in support of this, fool you into thinking, oh, that's good for us. This is a $1 billion tax increase. In 10 years, they are going to have an additional $10 billion. I don't trust them with that money. That is my hard-earned money and my husband's money. Everyone will, like I said, everyone's going to pay at least 8%, and you've got more people that are going to pay up to 27% additional. 49 of the state's 178 school districts are going to receive less than that 8%. And again, that has to do with the calculation that they're going to be redistributing. The money goes to the state education fund that's controlled by an appointed, not elected board. State education fund, that's Denver bureaucracy right there. Protect state control over education policy versus local. Again, that board down in Denver is going to be controlling your school districts. Who knows your school districts better than Denver? Your Board of Education, your local school districts. They need to have control of the money, not Denver.
Does Common Core play a part in
Oh,
that?
of course. Common Core is all over this. We have Common Core. Common Core is alive and well in the state of Colorado. And don't even get me started on that sex education bill that passed. Limitless opportunities to improve education for our kids. Look at that charter schools. We'll still have to pay for their capital requirements out of the general fund money. That's the general fund. That's not this state education money, where's that state education? That's the general fund money, charter schools. And charter schools are going to lose money per student, up to $1,000 per kid in your charter schools in districts that are going to be affected by this redistribution. So Larimer County, Jeffco, Douglas, Arapahoe, any charter schools in there, you're automatically going to be losing money for your charter schools. It doesn't adequately fund the gifted student program, and it doesn't fix the $8 billion infrastructure needs across the state. Who here has got David Young as a representative?
Yeah.
Okay, let me just tell you something. Representative Young did all kinds of convoluted schemes for our school districts based on the schools that we have. He got a bill passed that he sponsored, making all of our schools eco-friendly and sustainable, so that everything that's done in our schools now, it costs like 10 times what it used to cost. The carpeting, the chairs the kids sit in, they've made our school system, just strangle them by what they're requiring. And Young was one of the guys on there. Week on Innovation. I don't want to go through all of this. They have a wonderful, and Jared Polis talks about this innovation and how wonderful it is. This is an innovation program, another convoluted scheme. It's going to cost $6 million a year to run the innovation program. That's just like to have it in front of your kids, this innovation program. $300 million a year to manage it. Wow. Do you get where this money is going?
He should pay that himself. He's rich.
Thank you.
He and Pat Stryker, they could do it.
We're smarter than this, guys. We're smarter. We can read between the lines. See, and I'm not sure if rejected amendments become official documents.
Well, they have to be, if they're
I don't
discussed,
know.
they're,
Take a vote.
and there's a vote, they have to be in the record.
Yeah, so
But you
good luck
have to go
finding
through
them.
everything to find
Yeah,
them.
good luck finding them, because we actually tried to find them for that sex ed bill, and I could, because we were trying to, it came through the House first, and we were trying to help the Senate get their, because they were gonna do the same ones, and it was very convoluted. So anyway, just reforms. I want you all to get out there. This is an army of us. Don't buy the lie of what you're going to hear. We actually have Facebook, Coloradoans Against Unions Using Kids as Pawns. We have a Twitter, Kids Not Pawns. We have a website, Kids Not Pawns, where we try to put the latest information up. I actually have a handout that I'd like to share with you. It's a backgrounder. It's from the Independence Institute, and it kind of talks about the restructuring and how they're doing their spending. And then we also have, for those of you who are brave enough to engage people, we have talking points, kind of like the highlights of what I just went through on 66. I encourage you all. I've got the ballot. This is Larimer County, so y'all's ballot might look a little different. I don't like the way it's worded at all. There's a surprise. And I don't like that yes is ahead of no. And I just hope people take the time and understand this is $1 billion tax increase. If you all got your little booklets, did you get your booklets from the clerk? This also talks about it in depth, about what 66 is. You should have already gotten it by now, because you have to get these a certain week before the ballots drop. So, I know Larimer County got them.
Yeah, I've had mine.
Any thoughts, anything that you all want to share with me, anything that you've heard?
Have there been any polls done? Do you get a sense of what people are thinking or feeling, or how this vote may go?
Our team has no sense, because we have no funding to pay for polls.
Yeah.
I think I don't know for sure, but I think an organization is going to come in with some quick robocalls to some key areas. But no, we don't. I mean, it's a no-brainer for those of us in the know. I mean, this says right on the ballot, the first thing, shall state taxes be increased by $950,100 million annually in the first fiscal year, and by such amounts as are raised thereafter. That should be your first clue that this is a $1 billion tax increase. Let's hope that they read through this. So, I mean, it should be a no-brainer.
Is there anything geared towards a low information voter, other than,
What you see is what you get. This is a team of, this is a labor of love for us. No one on this team is getting paid to get this word out. Yes.
I got a phone call last night from a phone bank to vote for this,
in favor of it?
in favor of it.
Yeah, because I guarantee you we're not doing calls against it. We don't have the funding. I mean, I've had 2 people come to my door so far with their cute little Commit to Kids brochure, and it's got these adorable children, and I think, it just makes you automatically want to reach out and support this bill, because it doesn't say anything about $1 billion tax increase. I think you're...
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. I'm going to hand these out. Yes, sir.
Is this PowerPoint available on the website?
Yes, if you want this PowerPoint, I will be happy to send it to you. You write down your name for me, and I will send it to you. But you've got to write it legibly, because when I go home, I'm leaving for DC first thing in the morning. So if I get this done, I'm usually on a plane doing it. So
All of this information's on your website.
definitely, yeah. Let me know. Yes, ma'am.
People wonder why we want a 51st state.
Oh,
right.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
One other thing, 3 years ago, I got notification, I can't remember where I got it, how much money you're pulling out of our Social Security for Medicare. It's supposed to go to $247 this next year.
I'm telling you, we will, if you don't see it coming, I mean, we have reason to be, thank gosh you all are here. We have real reason to be concerned for this country. And once they come after our income, what do we have? What do we have? So please, you know what, be good stewards. Go out and tell people about this. Talk to your neighbors. And if it's nothing else, give them the tagline, it's $1 billion tax increase. They want more money, and they're not even getting a return on what they've got to work with now. Why would we give them more money? Yes.
Can we link to your sites from our Facebook and our website?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we can.
Okay, good.
I just have to go into
Okay.
to Greeley 912 Facebook page, like her Facebook page, and we can link in, and we can also probably pull up her Facebook page and, yeah. we can-
We do have, because it's us and we're grassroots, we actually are having a rally. I affiliate with the Loveland 912, and they are having a Tax Enough Already Tea Parties rally on October the 16th. It's a Wednesday night. We're going to meet on Lincoln and Eisenhower, 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock with the drive time. You guys can put one together here in Greeley, and we'll have our signs, taxed enough already, $1 billion tax increase, no to 66. Make whatever sign you can, get on a street corner and get the noise level going. And, you know, just we've got to get the noise level going amongst our groups. Did anybody have any other questions?
They didn't get up to.
The backgrounders? Yeah, did they not get
I
over?
think there was not enough.
Oh, okay, yeah, let me see what I have.
Debbie, I'm
That's why I would
just
start
curious
this
if you
way.
can tell us who the other 6 detrimental to GOP
I would
people are?
love to tell you, because they are like my good people. Does anybody ever listen to Grassroots Radio? Ken Clark and Jason Worley?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're on that list. Rich and Lori Bratton, they have a thing called Principles of Liberty. And they rate our legislators. And not all of our Republican legislators are good legislators. On a scale of 1 to 100, based on a lot of different bills that are passed. We've got some Republicans that suck wind, that are like a 23% Sherry Giroux. And so they point fingers. I don't care who you are. I might like you as a person. If you're my legislator, I want to know how you're voting. And so they call our Republican legislators out, and that is detrimental to the Republican Party. So they're on that
And
list.
what were their names?
Rich and Lori Bratton, they have an organization called Principles of Liberty, and they rate every bill that our legislators vote on. And we have legislators, Kevin Lundberg, Vicki Marble, Lori Sane, Perry Buck, that are like in the 96th percentile or greater when it comes to voting on bills based on the Constitution, the free markets, and liberty. And then we have legislators that are in the toilet. And I'll tell you right now, Brian Del Grosso is about 60, in the 60 percentile.
Where's Dave Young?
He's probably I think he's about 17%, because he's one of the guys that I'm tracking. I'm tracking him.
He's a Democrat anyways.
Yeah, but still, we can get him. Let's get him out of office.
Yeah.
He has no business being in office. But anyway, so Rich and Lori Bratton, and then Matt Arnold. Does everybody remember Clear the Bench?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on that list, and his wife Sarah. But I've never fit. They're
And it was Jason who?
Jason Worley, Ken Clark, Jason Worley, they're the host and co-host of Grassroots Radio. And they rip on it every night,
No, not the traffic guy from Fox 31.
No, not that Ken Clark, no. Yeah, Scooter McGee cornered me one day and was screaming at me about Ken Clark, and I said, that's not my Ken Clark. I don't know who it is, but that's not mine. I'm also going to hand out, these are from the Heartland Institute. They do tons of good research. They are on our side. They have got the best people ever. And this is a really good article. And this is talking about these kids are getting ready to vote in 2016. They're coming out of our government-run schools. How do you think they're going to vote? If we don't go after those libertarians, we're on their same team. We got to get the libertarians on board. We got to get with them, but they got to get with us, because these progressives are going to ruin this country.
They are.
Thank you all. Any other questions?